Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Ringril, the Taru here, and today I'm going to talk about if there are double standards in the Sailor Moon followership. Now, when I'm talking about standards, I'm talking about behaviors, being welcoming of newcomers, being understanding and trusting of other folks' takes on Sailor Moon, even if it doesn't match up with your take. And for most folks in the Sailor Moon followership, that would be true. But then there are some in the Sailor Moon followership who do like to gatekeep, who do like to tell you that you can't say this thing or you can't do this thing. Now, I'm not going to go say any names, but handles or names or anything like that. But I am going to say that there are folks who are guilty of that behavior, and they really, truly do need to not do that. First off, the first time it's ever happened, we got to go way back to 2008 YL, or maybe 2009 YL at the earliest, way back many years ago when we first started on Euro with Sailor Moon Red. Some folks would say, "You're besmirching the show." And then they would bitch about how we either shifted kinships around or shifted someone's back saga or offshooted something new into the show that either Toei didn't write and draw or Naiko Takaguchi didn't write or draw, and they would say we were besmirching the show. But that wasn't true. How do you besmirch a drawing show? You cannot besmirch it. Yes, everyone has their own take, their own thought, their own belief on Sailor Moon. So you can't besmirch Sailor Moon by having your own take on it, or shifting around kinships around, or making new back sagas for folks, or coming up with new foes or new selves. You can't besmirch Sailor Moon. And some folks, if they weren't, making a big deal about what we were saying and what we were doing Sailor Moon wise, they would then make a big deal about Sailor Earth. I can now, first off, why would anyone in the Sailor Moon followership make a big deal about new selves like Sailor Earth, like Ernest P. Worrell? Now, I know some folks out there maybe don't know who Ernest P. Worrell is. He was a self played by stand-up and show player Jim Varney, who died in 20 YL. And Ernest started out on showings, selling things, and it led into films. Now, Dwayne has always liked Ernest P. Worrell, and he always will. And he's offshoot Ernest into many sagas that he's wrote over the years. So when he wanted to put Ernest into Sailor Earth as early as 2008 YL, a lot of folks were open-minded about Ernest being Sailor Earth. But as time went on, there was one fellow, we will not say her name or handle, who was, made a big thing out of it. And she made a film bitching and ranting about how Ernest P. Worrell as Sailor Earth was shaming Naiko Takaguchi and besmirching all of her hard work that she had done, with Sailor Moon. And that was not true. First off, I would like to believe that Naiko Takaguchi would be open-minded enough to understand that even though she did not craft Sailor Earth, that she would be open-minded enough to be all right with someone else coming up with Sailor Earth. And that Sailor Earth being a man. And that was also another thing. When I had talks with other folks in the Sailor Moon followership like Michael Loggy 86 or Nick 2021 or CK Smith 08 or Katarina Chase 97, I guess, they were open-minded to Ernest being Sailor Earth. Even Omen Boy was open-minded to that too. But some folks just had to make a big deal out of it. And I don't see how Ernest being Sailor Earth, I don't know how that besmirched the work or how that was shaming Naiko Takaguchi. I don't know where they came from, where they got that from. I don't know. Then because I like to call them by the borrowed names that Deke and Pioneer came up with. And a lot of folks will say things like, don't slight my wisdom. When I call Sailor Moon Serena, that is a Latinist borrowed name, yes, but that was her name in the Deke world and the Pioneer world. It's not a slight on someone's wisdom. I can't help it if someone out there never saw the Deke or Pioneer Sailor Moon. Her name is Serena in that world, and that's the name we go by. See, we don't go by the Daunish names. We go by the Latinist, Frenchish, Spanish, Hebrewish, Farsius. You know, maybe he's in Hellenish. He's in Blacklandish borrow names. Now, when we were on X one time, someone in the Sailor Moon followership says, stop saying those names. Say the right names. Well, in the Deke world, in the Pioneer world, or Pathseeker world, those are the right names. See, you got folks that make a big deal about what names you call yourselves. Some folks out there like to make a big deal about sailor fighters, breaking the oversight, that says only girls or women can be sailor fighters or sailor keepers or whatever. But you know what? I don't care. It was sad that there was gatekeeping in the Sailor Moon followership. Now, I know the Sailor Moon followership likes to say that they're friendly and they're welcoming, and a lot of them are. And there are some of them out there that are not. And they give the rest of the Sailor Moon followership a bad name. You'll have someone who will come on and tell us we're making a film talking about how we think the Moon Kingdom works or how we thought the Earth Kingdom worked. And someone will come on and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You didn't do any learning. Yeah, I did learning. Dwayne has been into Sailor Moon since 2008 YL. And on the 31st of this month, it would have made, well, how many years would that have made? But anyway, so it would be the year day that he got into Sailor Moon. So yeah, he knows a lot about Sailor Moon. Now, someone out there's going to say, what about Sideworld Sailor Moon? Sadly, he never read those books, so he can't tell you anything about that. And that's another thing. Some folks in the Sailor Moon followership will think that they're greater than you if they know more about it than you do. They go, oh, I know everything about Sailor Moon. Oh, what's that? You don't know this thing about it? Well, I'm greater than you. I know as much about Sailor Moon as the next man or woman, And maybe some folks have been to Sailor Moon since between 95 YL. All right? Sorry, I didn't get into it until 2008 YL. But Dwayne knows as much about Sailor Moon as the next man or the next woman or whatever. So, hopefully, we understand that the gatekeeping in a Sailor Moon followership should not be there. The Sailor Moon followership should be welcoming of new folks with new thoughts and new beliefs and new takes and new takes on Sailor Moon. And if that's either gathering dolls or making films with playing with dolls or clothing playing or whatever it happens to be, let it be. Because the Sailor Moon followership is welcoming of all Sailor Moon followers from all walks of life, from all backgrounds, all right, from all kinds of worship, whatever. No gatekeeping, all right? Hope you like this film, and I'll see you later.